Hey there, Abiding fam, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey Lee, and today we are going to be journaling together in my Hobonichi. 2020 has been extremely busy for me, so I haven't had the time to document daily, but I can always make time to do a monthly review. So that's what we're going to do today. And to start this process, I always just document a few highlights on a scratch piece of paper to really figure out what it is I want to document before I start figuring out how I want to represent those main events or feelings or things that happened on the page. So one thing that happened is we went on this beautiful kayaking trip and we saw a mother deer and a baby deer in July. And so I wanted to find something to represent that and happened to find this great sticker. So I put that down. And then another big thing about this month was a lot of church events happened for us in July. So I had this sticker. These are actually stickers, fun fact, that I created back when I thought maybe I would want to sell stickers in my Etsy shop. Never ended up putting these on the market, but I had the one test sheet that I had done and can still use it. So I put that sticker down and then just journaled church events around the sticker. And you can tell just by the way that I'm approaching this is I'm really just hopping around. So I put down the sticker I found for the fact that we saw deer, and that was a really special moment in that month. And then I'm going to the church events, and you're going to see throughout my creation of these pages that I'm hopping all over the place. So now I'm using these Prismacolor pencils to write hola in Spanish for hello in a nice cursive font that has the colors bleed together because we went to a good friend's birthday party and she is a Spanish teacher and just loves all things Spanish. So this was a way of representing that on this particular day. And I also, as you saw, already had this sticker down about savor the sweet treats of summer. I had put that down before I even started journaling because of going to see fireworks and just the fact that July for me is the heart of summer. So it was a really good way to just represent that fact. So as you can see, I'm just journaling about Emily's 30th fiesta, and I ended up doing these little lines around it, kind of outlining it, and then turned those into balloons, which I have to say I'm not the biggest fan of that decision. But you'll see that when the pages are completely done, it doesn't actually matter that much. And so let that be a lesson for you that you're going to do some things you don't like on these pages, and that's totally okay because ultimately the most important thing is documenting your memories. The whole reason I create these pages is so that I can look back and remember the highlights of that month. So yeah, I might not love the way I represented Emily's 30th birthday, but the point is that when I see that illustration, it is going to jog my memory and take me back to all of the good memories associated with that day and that event. And that ultimately is the point of doing a monthly highlights page. The reason that I create these pages is not so that I remember every single detail by writing it down the way that I do for a daily journal page where I'm doing more full out journaling and maybe have photos that represent the day. But the idea of this page is to just have images, illustrations, icons, titles, words, and phrases all jumbled together that just represent the month as a whole, that jogs my memories and reminds me of all the good things or the main things that happened in that month. And so my goal when creating a monthly review or highlights page isn't to document every single detail from that month, but rather to capture the highlights. which is not only a beautiful thing to be able to look back on and remind myself of all of the joyous things I've experienced in that time, but it's also an exercise in gratitude in the actual process. Every time I sit down to record what happened that month, I find myself gravitating to the good things, the things I have to be grateful for, the things that stand out as moments filled with love and joy and faith and hope. And those are the things that make it into my journal. And yeah, sometimes the hard things make it into because that's the way life is. There are valleys and there are mountains, and we experience it all. And it's worth documenting it all because it's a reminder that we also make it through the hard times and that God is with us and shows us joy even through the hard times. But for the most part, I try to keep my journal really positive. I try to focus on the good because usually there's a lot more good when you ask yourself to look for it. And as you can see, I never struggle to find enough positive things and wonderful memories and moments to look back on to fill an entire page in my journal. In fact, more often than not, I often find myself wishing I had even more room to document more memories. And although I don't normally like the look of a super cluttered, messy page like this, in some ways I really do like it for my monthly highlights because it gives the sense that there are so many memories that they're literally bursting from the seams and can't quite fit into the journal. So now let's go into my memories for August, which begins with this beautiful washi tape, which was the absolute perfect way of representing the main memory from August, which was our trip to the Adirondacks. Our trip could not have come at a more needed time just because of how crazy work has been. And I loved getting to represent it with that beautiful washi tape that shows the mountains. It truly looks just like the Adirondacks look, which is really cool. And again, just with that image of the washi tape representing the mountains and the title reminding me that we went on this trip with Scott and Emily, I am instantly transported back to all of the wonderful memories we experienced on that vacation. Now, this particular trip was so special that I definitely want to document it more fully in my normal style of journaling with photos and actual writing about the trip. But for now, this is a great way to just represent the fact that it happened. So even if I don't get to those pages, it's documented in some way. And that's true for all of these memories. Some of them are ones that I'm going to want to expound upon in other journaling with photos and actually write out some of the details. But what I love about these pages is that it's only 12. There's one for each month. And within a few minutes of flipping through those 12 simple pages, I will have reminded myself of the main highlights from my entire year. I often get the question when people look at my other journaling videos asking, how do you have the time? Or I'd love to do that, but I just am not creative enough. Or I don't have enough interesting things happen to me to document every day, which I totally get. So I hope that this video is an encouragement to you that memory keeping doesn't have to look one way. It doesn't have to be journal pages filled with words upon words about every detail of your life. It doesn't have to be photo albums and scrapbooks filled with every photo you've ever taken on your phone. And it doesn't have to document everything that's ever happened to you. You can focus on the highlights. You can be as creative as you want or as simple as you want. You can jot down a few thoughts about how the month went, like I used to do in my bullet journal. I used to do monthly reviews. Or back in college when I used to do a gratitude log and just would write down a few bullet points about the things I was grateful for each day. You could do that same thing, but only do it for each month. What are the 10 things you were grateful for this month? For me, I like to be more creative in the way I approach that, and so that ends up looking like these pages. I have doodles and illustrations and play around with my fonts because that's fun for me. But it's okay for yours to be more simple and just look like a laundry list. But at least then you're documenting your life, you're documenting your memories. And I really believe in the power of putting our lives down on paper because it's telling yourself and it's telling others that your life matters because it does. And it's also a way of reflecting and taking pause. And as I said earlier, of expressing gratitude. Because a lot of times when we take a step back and think about our lives, we come away with a lot more good than we even realize. I don't have to tell you that 2020 has been really hard. That's definitely been true for all of us. But when I look on these pages, I don't see the difficulty. I see the blessing. And my hope is that you would be inspired to also document your blessings, to document all of the good and wonderful memories that God has given you. Because as that sticker on the page says, there are reasons to celebrate. In that case, I was talking about my husband's 30th birthday. But on a grander level, there are reasons to celebrate because I have family and love, and I have health, and I have joy, and I have hope in Jesus and things far beyond this world. So no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. So I hope this video has inspired you to document your life, to document the hikes and walks, the trips to the Adirondacks, the sushi that you've enjoyed with friends, the backyard concerts, the s'mores and stories by the fire, the fireworks on the 4th of July, the kayaking trip with family, the beautiful moments in nature, and everything in between. And that, friends, brings us to the end of this video. I really pray that it inspired you to document your own beautiful life, whether that's in a monthly format or documenting every day, or as I said, something as simple as a bulleted list of the main events in your life. I really pray that you are inspired to put them to paper. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment letting me know what memory keeping means to you. I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, if you're not already a member of the Abiding fam, do hit that subscribe button for more videos about documenting your life and faith. And if you would like to support my channel even more, I did start Patreon again this month after a short break, and we'll be making exclusive content, including a video this month that is going to be a journal with me doing my September monthly review. So I hope that you'll check it out. Until then, friends, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life full of abiding faith, hope, and love.